There we go. So we are 30 seconds away from the live stream. So we're gonna see what State of Play has to offer here. Hoping it's going to be something good. Hoping like for Street Fighter 6 or Final Fantasy 16 or even Remake Part 2 news would be pretty cool. I am going to attempt something very stupid here. Let's see if I can get this TV back up on the wall before this starts. Probably not though. 2 seconds. Okay, we got it up on the wall. We're good. Around. Let's see, what do we got? First trailer. Here we go. I wonder if we're gonna get a PS5 Pro announcement. That would be absolutely disgusting. 3/24/2023. So basically a year from now. Looks like maybe Last of Us again. Oh no, it's a Rockstar game. Right? Red Dead maybe? RN. Oh, Resident Evil. Wow. Already? Oh, the HD remaster. Or the remake? I actually remember hearing about this. Well, now we're gonna. Okay, so we're gonna plug this in right here, and it's like fighting me. There we go, we're good. Okay. So they did one for RE2 not too long ago. And I know Resident Evil 4 was a fan favorite. Sorry, I'm still moving cords around here. So I can bring chat up. I mean, it looks pretty good. You gonna get more than that, or what are we getting? Oh, next year we get the Resident Evil 4 remaster or the remake. Ooh, VR2 content also in development. So they're already starting to shift away from PS4. I mean, it's not too surprising. It is kind of sad. So it looks like we're gonna get like Resident Evil Village VR. Why is the top of this cropped? Oh, resize this real quick for you. Because for some reason it's cropped. Oh, the filter's cropped. That's why. You're like, 1 second here, I'll fix this. That's very weird. I don't know why this would be cropped. Oh, I know why, because it's not made for videos, duh. Do that. That should help out a little bit. And then I have to resize it again. Doing this on the fly. We're doing it live. What's funny is that when I go back to Overwatch and I want to do something in the web browser again, I'm going to have to fix it and recrop it. I think I was doing it for Overwatch patch notes. That's why it was cropped. Uh, no idea. Dead by Daylight, maybe? Never played it, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Hmm. Oh no, Walking Dead. That'd have been my second guess with something to do with Walking Dead. I thought they were done making these games though, but guess not. And this is the last VR game. Space Simulator. They do be looking like Space Simulator's a thing. No Man's Sky, maybe? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's gotta be something to do with No Man's Sky. Yep. No Man's Sky VR. I heard they turned the game around though from what it was originally at launch. I do feel kind of bad for how that game launched. It was supposed to be this big epic exploration and turned out that it was like bare bones when it got released. They just didn't have enough time to do everything they wanted to do. Has Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West come out yet? If not, I'm assuming that's what this is. VR. Horizon Zero Body? Forbidden Hands? I feel like the whole like just hands on the screen thing, they could have like put like limbs on there like her arm. If that's supposed to be her. Because otherwise it just looks really jarring when you see just a pair of hands on the screen with no limbs attached to them. Like that just looks weird. It is Horizon. It is indeed Horizon. Not bad. New Game Plus is never a bad feature. I don't know why more games don't launch with it, especially single player ones. Like that should always be something that just comes with the game. So you can play around and keep your skills and everything and then just blow through. Ultra hard difficulty. Or you could just go Google and look up the patch notes. That works too. Okay, we can put this down just a tad bit. And favorite. God of War? No, that is not God of War. Oh, Spider-Man. Is it all of them, or is it just Miles Morales? Oh, Spider-Man Remastered. So weird. Hate doing audio balancing. Such a pain. I think we've seen this before. I don't remember when we've seen this, but we've definitely seen this before. A parkour cat game. Not actual gameplay. Oh, Stray. Oh, it's next month. So basically, it's part of the Plus package. I think it was earlier in March when they changed that whole profile to where there's different tiers now. Is it Dead Space game? Whoa. The reason it's the Dead Space is mainly because of all the horror elements, and then he's also got the thing on his neck. Ooh. He's a bitey boy. Imagine this in VR. Yeah, it's gotta be Dead Space. No? The Callisto Protocol. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it like I said, it reminded me a lot of that Dead Space theme though, with, like the kills and all that, and the character. They used to show the same thing in their trailers. Roller derby? Okay, I can definitely say I've never seen roller derby with guns. That's definitely a new one. Oh, it's got like a jet set theme too. Hmm. Interesting. What the heck? The character I will say looks like a generic dummy character. August 16th, huh? I'm trying to think. I think his arm is missing. Nah, I guess it's all good. He's got a blade arm now. Um, Interesting diverse of styles. You have like your classic anime style, then you have like the in-game graphics that are pretty somewhat realistic background wise, and the characters that are still anime. Eternites. Early 2023. That looks interesting. I'm sure that we'll get an anime adaptation, considering that most of it's a dating sim. RPG dating sim, huh? Oh baby, here it is. It's Street Fighter 6. Has to be Street Fighter 6. There's no way. Are we gonna like I wonder if we're gonna get like a beta announcement here. Because that's supposed to be Luke. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the audio here because I don't know if this is DMCA able. That looks really weird though. It is Street Fighter 6, but it looks like you can run around the streets. Chun-Li looks a lot older. So does Ryu. Oh wow. So I wonder how many years have passed. Tag battles? Oh, never mind. I thought we were getting tag battles for a second. I mean, that'd have been a very interesting dynamic. Chun still got EX legs. Big shock. Ooh. Got that Eddie Gordo style. Looks like focus attacks are back. Fighting Ground Battle Hub. Online course PlayStation Plus membership, of course. We're getting more. Your moment, your fight. Coming 2023. Okay, so it is next year that we're getting Street Fighter 6. That's interesting. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get a beta. So we might actually get a beta this year later on, probably around December, November, if it's going to be early 2023. With no distinction of early or late, it's very hard to tell where it's going to be. It did look interesting. It looked like we were getting focus attacks back. That's what Chun-Li and Ryu were using. It also looked like they had the, what was it, the kind of the view reversal system where it freezes on defense and then you're allowed to counter hit or something along those lines. So it'd be very interesting to see what all comes of that. I'll probably pick it up. Hopefully in Street Fighter 6 they give us back the options to have like vortexes and mix-ups and all that fun stuff, because they took a lot of that away early on in Street Fighter 5. They wanted the game to be as bare bones as possible so everybody could just pick it up and play it, which is fine. You want to, cater to people who don't typically play fighting games. It's whatever, but I like having that 50-50 option. Akuma was really good at it. Anyway, looks like we got ourselves a life simulator. Is he dead? Oh, turn the music back. A Letter to the Future. Autumn 2022. Ooh, here we go. So we're not going to get a Remake Part 2 update. We are going to get 16, though, which is interesting. Yeah. I'm a little concerned with this. That's a bad sign right there, that he's like, oh, the world's in turmoil, and we're going to focus on making games for people. That does worry me a little bit. It makes it sound like production might be in trouble. Not to mention that this game is also in production with Final Fantasy VII Part 2, or Remake Part 2 also in production. Ifrit. Bahamut. Guile. I know we're never going back to old school Final Fantasy games, but I cannot get into this combat system. It reminds me too much of like God of War. Just how much control you have over your character in real time. And that's not me, but like there's just I don't know, hard to explain. It's just too hard to get into for me. It was interesting seeing him use like Diamond Dust as an actual ability outside of having Shiva out as a summon. Oh, there's Hellfire. So you will have access to summons. I wonder if it's like 15 though, where you have to basically die in order to get access to it. Actually, it has its own health bar, which is interesting. Maybe it'll be like 10 where you control a summon in real time. Aether versus Bahamut. Phoenix, Titan, Garuda. Big emphasis on the summons here. Very interesting. Summer 2023. So next year. So it was only a half-hour long state of play, which is fine. Go ahead and just pause that there. So we watched it off the official PlayStation channel, obviously. Anyway, big takeaways. The indie games really weren't too impressive this time around, I would argue. The big ones were Street Fighter 6 and Final Fantasy 16 for sure here, as well as Resident Evil 4. I was a little bit curious about the Resident Evil 4 trailer because it sounded weird. Like Leon was talking about it being different this time. I wonder if he was referring to Raccoon City, maybe going into Resident Evil 4, because I never played 4 because it was a GameCube exclusive, and I know there have been ports that have come out since then. I believe PC has a port, PS4 has a port as well, but I just never got around to playing them. But yeah, it'd be something I might pick up and might try. I do need to get a PS5 at some point still. I'm still looking for that. I've heard talks of a PS5 Pro coming out sometime in the next year or so. I really don't want to commit to a PS5 knowing that the Pro is probably a year away from coming out. I would rather just wait for the Pro at this point. Even if I have to put off some of these games that are going to be PS5 exclusives, because it does seem like they're getting away from developing games for the PS4, though a lot of them were for the PS4 as well. Street Fighter 6, I don't remember if the tag showed PS4. I don't think it did. I think it only showed PS5, just like Resident Evil 4 did. I think 16 was the same as well. Square's kind of gotten away from the old consoles as well. Last generation, as you will. It kind of sucks because of what happened with the launch of the PS5. Like, all the bots buying up all the consoles and trying to resell them for like $1,200, $1,300. It definitely hurt being able to get your hands on one. And I'm sure it also hurt like game development and that same cycle, because for them to just go and move on to next gen or current gen or whatever you want to call it now, they definitely want more customers to have the product in their hands rather than all these bots buying up consoles. Because even if these bots buy up these consoles, they're not actually buying games for these consoles. So, it ends up hurting everybody overall. The only one who really profits is Sony and the bot makers, or the bot buyers, as it is. Anyway, so Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16, Those are the two games I was most looking forward to. Uh, it definitely looked interesting for sure, seeing like Ryu and Chun-Li fighting. It looked like we were seeing focus attacks. It looks like there was a new defensive system where you slow down time, like you parry an attack. It looks like the game freezes and then you're able to counterattack. I'm sure that probably uses meter or some other form of bar that will be coming along with that game. As for 16, like I said, the combat system doesn't look too great to me. Like it reminds me of 15. It's basically just 15's combat system slapped onto a new game with a different HUD. The Dead Space kill. Yeah, the Dead Space game, like I trying to think like something protocol or whatever. It looked interesting. It looked a lot like Dead Space to me. That's kind of the vibe I was getting. Is that that's what that game was going to be. Unless it was made by the same people who made the original Dead Space or were inspired by it. Also possible. But the big thing I'm hoping is that, 16 ends up being good. I might still pick it up just to try it. Maybe if it goes on sale or something during one of the summer sales. I'm hoping that it's still good. The problem is that Square tends to have a problem of taking on too many games at once. And that's kind of what ruined 15 as a whole anyway, was that they were doing what? Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, and then they had 15 finishing up. So it caused a bunch of problems internally. Kingdom Hearts 3 ended up suffering for it. It felt bare bones and lacking. Really wasn't that fun to play. Then you had 7 Remake, which actually came out fine. 7 Remake really wasn't that bad. Like, the materia system was a little limited in that game. I hope that in part 2 we get like an expanded upon materia system. Didn't get a chance to play Interlude. I really wanted to, but I didn't have a PS5, so I couldn't do it. For some reason, that's where Square decided, hey, you know what? No more PS4 games. We're only focusing on PS5. And then, like I said, 15, the whole tail end of 15 suffered. The end game was absolutely linear. It didn't make sense compared to what the rest of the story was at the earlier portions of the game. And it was just a mess in development. So I'm hoping 16 doesn't suffer from that, because the only two games I think Square is realistically working on right now is 7 Remake Part 2, which I think they've already said is pretty much going into its final phases, and then 16, which will be out next summer. So very interesting indeed. Anyway, that will do it for this portion. I'm going to kill stream real quick so I can upload this portion to YouTube. So I'll be right back. I don't know what I'm going to play quite yet, but I'm going to be back with something. Give me like 5 minutes to figure